Everyone, welcome to the stream. Sean Plays here. And today we have our unboxing video for the Analogue Super NT. Finally got one of these, but first, we're gonna revisit the PS1 digital that we installed on Saturday, and the stream last Saturday ended. We had a couple minor, well, kind of what looked like a big issue, and it turned out to just be being tired and not getting things plugged in right, and then one minor issue with the soldering. So we've got our PS1 digital here, and I've already got this plugged in mostly. But you can see we've got, instead of a serial port, we now have an HDMI port. So pretty cool right there. But where we got to on Saturday night was that the system would, the HDMI looked like it was working, but we weren't able to load games. I did get to load a game after I quit the stream, and then it wasn't reliable, though. And what it turned out, as far as the game loading, was I just had managed to screw up and not get the power cable for the CD reader fully plugged in. The other issue was the on-screen display wasn't coming up, and so that on-screen display not coming up was kind of a bad thing, because it meant we couldn't fully verify the installation, and not being able to play games was a big deal, of course. But without being able to fully verify the installation, we didn't know if there were other issues that we just didn't know about yet. And then the other problem with not being able to bring up that display was we couldn't go through and select different modes. And something that's really cool is that with some of the latest firmware that's come out, you can actually select different video modes based on what you want from each game. So there's I think I've heard there's about 10 video modes that the PS1 can output. And so when we load this up here, so let me switch to that. Now you can't see the PlayStation. We'll make it so you can see the PlayStation, because it's yeah, the PlayStation's really, of course, exciting just sitting there on the desk. But so we will get to the Super NT here in a moment, but just wanted to follow up on this. So we're gonna turn this on, and why is my HDMI switch is like freaking out on me for some reason? I think I have a bad power cable plugged into that HDMI switch. My bad. Don't worry, I got another one right here. These USB micro cables, they're just all over the place. They just kind of breed like rabbits. So fortunately, not a big deal. I only have about 100 of these stupid cables. And let's see if that makes things better. There we go. So I'm starting off, so this is through the RetroTink Mini. And I don't know if my well, that's my, I'm seeing this through the capture card output right now. So this is through the RetroTink Mini, and I'm gonna switch over on my screen here so I can hopefully include some sound. I don't remember if this makes sound or not in this, but this is what it looks like with the RetroTink Mini. And this is obviously just the menu screen. We go over to the PS1 digital, and this is exactly why you install this. I mean, this is just the menu, but it looks like the best menu you've ever seen. on a PlayStation. And now I can actually bring up my on my on-screen display, and what we can see is now what we were looking at before. We were seeing, so we could see this is a 640 by 480i video mode, and we know that, and so this can output the correct aspect ratio. Now, by default, it goes to 1080p when you first use this, and the reason for that is because some displays aren't going to be able to handle VGA 960p or 1200p, so you can select whichever one you need, and you can actually set that per game, as I mentioned with the firmware with some of the recent firmware updates that this has received. But the 1080p mode, as you can see on the screen, of course, because it's a 4x3 output system, we will always have black bars on the sides. But the 1080p mode adds black bars at the top and bottom, and that's to make up for the fact that the resolution, the vertical resolution, is 480, and in some games it's 240. Other games it is actually 480, but most games are in 240. But 240 doesn't go evenly into 1080, and so by outputting 480p or 960p or 1200p, you might get a better look on some displays, but on displays that can't handle strange resolutions, you can get pixel perfect. It's a little smaller, but it's pixel perfect. It's now I'm actually doing pretty well on this on my monitor, my TCL Roku TV, with the 960p, which is pretty handy. Now we can actually load a game this time. So I know this is about the Super NT, but you're back on Twitch with the name I can't pronounce. Yeah, this is like the best looking PlayStation 1 you've ever seen, isn't it? Hopefully this is loading. So here we go. This is, okay, it's stretched on the stream, it looks like. On my TV, this is a 4x3. It's not stretched, which is pretty nice. But let's see what it does once we're in the game, because as I mentioned, there's actually different video output modes that you're seeing, and I can't even actually bring up the on-screen display right now because it's not pulling the controllers at this point. Okay. If this drive is not running now, I'm going to be really annoyed. Okay, it's spinning up. I can feel it spinning up. There it goes. To keep in mind, this is like 25-year-old hardware, no matter how you cut it. Is it loading? Thanks, Dennis. I don't necessarily want to like use your name on Twitch in case you don't want people to know who you are on Twitch. I feel like the laser on this may not be the most reliable, and I don't know how much of that might be my fault, but I will probably end up buying an X station eventually if it's not reading discs consistently. I hear it loading this time. Maybe. always wants to like mess with me so badly. It was working great this morning. I'm gonna unplug this. It's supposed to be able to do... Oops. It's supposed to be able to do both outputs at the same time, and it generally does, but I sometimes wonder if maybe that's just taking too much power. I don't know. It's not the fastest loading system. I mean, that was the big complaint about this generation, was the games were very slow to load. And the PlayStation, despite being the most popular system, might have been the worst offender. I don't know. Sometimes it just stops spinning the disc. Alright, we're going to just try another disc. I don't know what its problem is. I will, like I said, I will probably get an X station at some point, because I'm kind of thinking it may just be other issues. Oh, but don't worry. After I can show off some actual gameplay here, just a little bit, we're gonna go and unbox the Super NT. I'm just gonna put that on the desk just to tease it, I guess. Okay, now I'm just getting really annoyed. What the heck is it doing? It just went to the like BIOS or menu screen or whatever. Yeah, this is what it was doing to me Saturday night, where it just wouldn't spin up, but then this morning it was fine. There we go. Alright, we're loading now. That's just switching output modes. So now I can bring up the on-screen display, and we can see the resolution right now is 320 by 240, and then it's 384 by 240. I've seen a 256 by 240. I'm going to bring up the test info here. Sorry if there's an echo. For anyone else. Okay, there we go. And this test info is really important. Now, right now, it says signal test only works in RGB 888 color. But when we do a new game with Final Fantasy VII, we'll be able to it'll actually switch the video mode again. It'll to the full motion video, and we'll be able to see the test just to prove that, hey, everything is definitely installed right. So all hearts. So we should have 8 hearts for red, 8 hearts for green, 8 hearts for blue. We have our 24 hearts, so we know this is installed correctly because we have sound, we have video, we have 24 hearts. Link would be pretty jealous of us if this was Nintendo. We're in good shape now. I'm going to take the on-screen display off the screen. And I don't know if I can do anything about the stretch on the stream quickly. So just know, for me, this is not stretch. This is a 4x3 video with bars. I don't know exactly why it's not doing that on the capture, but it's doing it fine on the TV. Oh, I know what to do. I think if I switch the video mode, let me switch the output resolution to 1080. There we go. Okay, that looks better for the stream. So you can see what I'm talking about again with the black bars on the top and bottom. So this is just a one-to-one. So it's basically using, I guess, 4 pixels for each pixel on the screen, something like that. But this way, it doesn't have to interpolate where a pixel is. It can just determine it integer scale. And I know you can play this game on PC, of course, and even on modern consoles, and not have this blocky mess, shall we say, but it's a lot better than the blurry mess that it used to be. Oh, wrong button. The buttons are weird. There's just, to me, I bought the PlayStation. I had these games, and I bought a PlayStation 1, and I hadn't committed to doing this mod yet at the time, but I was hoping to. And I started playing Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1, which as I mentioned on Saturday, I'd only actually played it on PC when it first came out. And PC was higher resolution at a full 640 by 480 or higher. Might have been 800 by 600. I mean, stellar at the time, except it was buggy, really buggy. But playing it in these blocky pixels, despite being a primarily 3D game, I mean, the backgrounds are technically 2D. It's kind of better because you don't really see how low the polygon count is because you have such a low pixel count. It's pretty amazing though where this has all gone. So, yeah. So this is the PS Digital. It's working. So I think this is probably, unless people really want to see more Final Fantasy VII, I think this is a good place to start unboxing the Super NT. Let's go ahead and just pop back to the desk. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna unplug and get out of the way. Knowing my luck, I'll do something and knock it on the floor, and after everything, it'll be broken. Broken. It looks so much better though on this. So I'm just gonna move this back over where it goes so I can push this stuff out of the way better. So as I mentioned, Super NT Mini, or sorry, not Mini, it's just the Super NT. So for those of you who maybe don't know a lot about Analogue, I've certainly talked about them on my past streams. Analogue actually has been around for quite a while. They started off making a consoleized Neo Geo MVS, and MVS is the arcade system. And that wooden MVS, it was pretty cool, but it was just a Neo Geo arcade motherboard with a really nice wooden case. to make it into a consoleized MVS, and these days it's pretty easy to just get a consoleized MVS. But back when they first started doing this, there weren't a lot of options for consoleized MVSs. Then they made another one that had basically it was two arcade sticks and the MVS in a consoleized setup. Again, with the case for the console made of wood. So, I mean, really, really cool. I wish this camera was a bit clearer. For some reason, it just washes out the lettering, but we have our Super NT. And so before the Super NT, there was after the consoleized MVS, the consoleized Neo Geo MVS. God, I'm doing a horrible job pointing this out. It's got some heft to it. I mean, this is very nice. This is, for those of you who saw my previous unboxing streams for their other products. I mean, it's a high quality plastic. It's not like the NT Mini that is machined aluminum. And this is much more like the Mega SG, where all you have on the back is a USB for power and HDMI for video output, and then you have an SD card slot for upgrading firmware or whatever. But yeah, so they made before the Super NT, before the NT Mini, they made just the NT, and the NT actually used real NES chips on a custom motherboard to enable Famicom and Famicom and NES games to be played over HDMI. But that one wasn't FPGA based. And so here's HDMI and USB for power. It does not look like this comes with a powered... No, it does come with a power adapter. Okay. I don't need the power adapter for the way I have things set up at this desk. I also don't need the USB... I don't need the USB cable, and I don't need the HDMI. So I'm actually just leaving these in the box so that their cables typically say analog on them. I kind of like just having the branded cables there, so I'm actually just going to leave those in the box. I got a little manual here. That's so washed out. I'm just going to switch to this camera to show the manual. So a little manual. Folds out. Oh yeah, this comes with Super Turrican. I think it comes with, yeah, so it's Super Turrican Director's Cut. So it's the 1993 game with some extra stuff added, and it's also Super Turrican 2, which I'm not quite sure what the deal was with why those were packed in digitally, but it is kind of cool. So I'm just going to put those back in the box. And there it is. All right, we're done with the unboxing. Now, something to note that it does not come with it. The Super NT and the Mega SG, neither one of them actually comes with a controller. So I did not. They link you to like some 8-bit DOE controllers. By the time I clicked the link, they were actually out of stock. But that's not necessarily the end of the world. I do have a couple controllers that I was able to pick up, and I just forgot to pull them out before. So it's kind of funny because I sold off most of my video game stuff years ago, years and years and years and years and years ago. At least the older stuff, like the Famicom Twin, the Super Nintendo, the Tower of Power, all this stuff that's like so expensive to get now. And it's only gotten way more expensive since this health crisis started. But I was able to pick up a ASCII pad from Doc's Video Games, and oh, there we go. That's much better on the colors. But ASCII pad was a controller I always wanted because ASCII was kind of like Hori back in the day. Hori existed back then too, but ASCII was comparable in quality to Hori, And this was a really cool pad. It had individual switches for turbo for everything. It does have slow motion, but slow motion's always been kind of hokey. Slow motion on these old consoles, all it was the controller pausing and unpausing the game as fast as it could. And so it slowed things down, assuming you didn't have one of the games that just said pause on the screen in big letters, in which case it was just super flickery. But it made everything really jerky. It didn't actually really let you control anything any better. So, but I've got the ASCII pad, and then from Micro Center, I picked up this Retrobit controller this reminds me of old PC game pads from back in the day. I got this for $5 though. I think it might have been marked on clearance. It might not have been. It was $5. I hope it works, but I was like, well, I could use a couple more controllers because at some point I gotta see if my Super Multi-Tap from way back still works because, it'd be pretty nice to play Secret of Mana and stuff like that again. I'm not planning to. I don't know how much I can really even test the Super Multi-Tap. I don't have a third controller, so about all it would do is confirm that it works with a controller, which would be something, but I wouldn't confirm much else. So, do have some controllers. First thing I'm going to do is plug this in and make sure we have power. Make sure this works, period. And then I'm actually going to, I've learned from the last two analog unboxings I've done, and I would hope that they've updated the firmware before, for this batch to whatever the latest was at the time of manufacture. But I know that the NT Mini and the Mega SG did not work real well out of the box on my stream initially without updating the firmware. So actually going to go through that process of updating the firmware. So it's booting right up. We got a nice little white LED there. I think that on the other ones, wow, that's hard to read. That font is kind of awful. On the other ones, you've actually been able to change the color of the LED. Yeah, so we can just go to K Pro Rainbow and look at that. We got a nice little. It's probably really hard to see. It's. Oh, I'll lift the system up, but so hopefully it'll show up. It's kind of cool though that the power LED is RGB. Just in case you didn't have enough RGB. Yeah, this font is terrible. Okay, so it boots. Since it boots, I'm gonna go right into. I've got the card with the firmware. We are gonna go, or not firmware, the BIOS. Well, I guess it is firmware. We're gonna go right into plugging this in and getting this firmware updated because that also will, I think, fix the font issue. And okay, there's nothing on screen right now. You can't see it too well on camera, but the LED is blinking. It will just do its thing here, and once it's done, it'll come up. It'll reboot automatically and bring up the game. In the meantime, today I've got my Tails glass. I do really like these glasses. I originally got these glasses from Fry's Electronics, the first set that I had, and they all got broken. I bought a second set from Fry's Electronics, and those were actually the newer ones were actually really bad quality. So I actually got lucky and found these on eBay in new condition for like $15 for this set of 4. And now I don't let anyone touch them but me because they get broken, they go through the dishwasher, it washes off. I know it's kind of silly, but I like these for my streams. So it's still flashing. While it is flashing, something cool that has come back in stock. Let me find this on here. There we go. All right, sharing my monitor. New little improvements. So something really cool that's back in. It's not in stock. It's for pre-order at CastlemaniaGames.com and StoneAgeGamer.com. Is the PlayStation MemCard Pro. So I know we're talking about Super Nintendo mostly here, but this PlayStation MemCard Pro is really cool because essentially you can have a ton of virtual memory cards on an SD card that you plug into the MemCard Pro. It's now available in different colors. I ordered a blue one for myself. I think the blue looks fantastic. Blue is actually the color I have for my one PlayStation 1 memory card that I have currently. But this is great because essentially 1 gig of space gives you the equivalent of 8,000 memory cards, they said. And what else is really cool about these is they have Wi-Fi for updates. I think you use the Wi-Fi for transferring save files to and from your PC. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, and we've got our firmware update is done. Oh, that font is still horrible. I don't know if that firmware update was. I think it was. I wonder if I can. Okay, I don't need to be here. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm not sure if I can do anything with that. I had to switch to a card that doesn't have the BIOS. No, that's definitely not what I meant to do. That's okay. I'm going to turn this off. Everything should be good now. Fortunately, the BIOS is quote-unquote unbrickable with this. I'm just really hoping that I can switch the darn font, because that font hurts so much to see. Of course, that doesn't matter too much, because we're here to, now that we've got the system up and running with the latest firmware, we're really here just to play games, right? I think the first game we're going to start off with. Well, unless anyone has opinions, I've got a handful of cartridges here. So if you have a request, let me know. But we do have to be turned off to put stuff in and put cartridges in and out. But I've got the original Mega Man X for Super Nintendo. It's funny how small this system is, and this is an FPGA-based system. And then kind of going back to that history. So, I believe they made the Mini NT after this NT. So the NT was original NES hardware. The NT Mini is FPGA based, and then that was a limited system, sort of not that limited. And then they made the I don't know which came first between the Super NT and the Mega SG, but then they made those. And then they made the NT Mini Noir and had a couple rounds of pre-orders, and yeah, there's some criticisms that are pretty valid on how they went about handling the communication of all the new features on the NT Mini Noir. So a lot of people that had the NT Mini didn't really see a reason to buy an NT Mini Noir, and kind of missed out in some cases on on getting those new features because of that. Alright, so X is apparently pretty amazing. He's not going to break the first rule of robotics. Okay, that siren is getting really annoying. So yeah, so basically this is 100% compatible with NES games. HDMI output, lots of options for how this is scaled for the screen. I'm just using the defaults. I feel they look pretty good. Just seeing how this plays. So the other two consoles I have from Analogue are absolutely amazing. Yes, John, I'm gonna totally break it because that's what I guess. I was like, am I gonna get run over? Man, I have not played this in forever. I actually played Mega Man X on PC back in the day because I didn't have a Super Nintendo when it came out. I had a PC. Oh, the controls just feel great. These are so much better than emulation. And some people will nitpick and say, well, it is emulation, but it's probably more accurate to call it hardware simulation. It's not original hardware, but it certainly feels a whole lot better than playing on your PC, let alone a Raspberry Pi. But yeah, let me know if there's any games you'd like to see played on this. Ow! That was kind of sad. Oh, I thought you could dash. I don't... Maybe that's an ability you get later? I don't remember. This looks perilous. Oh, ow. Quit shooting me! I don't know what I'm doing! Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's actually auto fire. This the ASCII pad isn't 2 levels of turbo. It's auto fire and turbo. Oh, that's cool. So I could just turn the ASCII pad on and run through the stage like this, which kind of ruins the point of being able to charge your gun, but it's kind of funny. Oh, this is so much easier all of a sudden. Oh, man. Oh, stuff's falling. The city is falling apart. Mega Tokyo 2032 is just in shambles. That car's out to get me. Ow. How many cars are going to throw at me? Ow. I think I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm so close to dying. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to die, sort of die here, kind of. Did think I could defeat you. Yes, have not reached full power yet. Just tell us your name. Hello, Empire. Just showing off some gameplay on the Analogue Super NT. Now, I think one of the only downsides of the Super NT is that you can't save your state. It is compatible with ROM cartridges if you want to, and a lot of those let you save state, but yeah, unfortunately it doesn't let you, it has no way for you to save state on the games. I am not the best in this game. Ah, this thing. It's following me. Hey, Linnea. Well, this was a pretty well-renowned Mega Man game back in the day, and I am really messing this up. Oh, I didn't even see that one. Alright. So, this might be a good time to unveil the mystery game. Which I guess I didn't say anything about in the description, but that's okay. So, as I mentioned before, I actually sold off a lot of my games years ago, but there's some things that fell through the cracks. Like, I have about a dozen Game Boy games still, and some other odds and ends. And I had an unplayed copy of Revolution X featuring Aerosmith. It was open. It was opened up, but it was never played because it got squished in a box over the years, as you can see. But it is actually, I don't know. I don't see an instruction manual, but it's actually still in the plastic wrap in the box. So this has actually never been played. I'm not saying this is a good game, but I figure we just kind of got to try it. After all this time, it somehow survived. And if I recall correctly, this was like, this is sort of like that Terminator 2 game in the arcades where you just had a machine gun and shot everything up, but with Aerosmith music and no Terminators. It was an arcade game. I don't know if I would call it a classic. I don't think I ever played this in the arcade either. I got this because it was on clearance super cheap, probably like $5–10. Oh yeah, check out that sound. I am getting a copyright strike. Oh man. I don't know if I can take this for very long. Los Angeles, 1996. I will say something about going to, like having grown up watching movies like Terminator 2 and stuff like that. I think this game actually works with the mouse, by the way, with the Super Nintendo mouse. But having grown up, seeing movies like Terminator 2 and I don't know, lots of stuff that took place in LA, like going to LA and going to the Galleria Mall and stuff like that is it's a pretty good nostalgia trip. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got an N64 I'll be modding on Wednesday to have HDMI output. It'll look a whole lot better than a standard N64 once that's done. Oh, I shouldn't have shot that, I guess. The HDMI is nice and crisp, but this game is still a blurry mess. Oh, that's a missile. And the funny thing about this, I think this works with which game? Oh, I'm sorry, I totally screwed up on that. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to switch what I was doing. Yeah, this is kind of terrible. I'll stay on the games now, but yeah, I don't. Can I go in? Let's go in. Yeah, this so if I recall correctly, even though this works with the I think this works with the Super Nintendo mouse, but not with the Super Scope 6. Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better. At least I'm not the only one doing that. Oh, I probably shouldn't shoot there. Check it out. Dancing, scantily clad women in a Super Nintendo game. Almost as good as Duke Nukem 3D. A giant lava lamp. Can I break the lava lamp? Yes! Oh, it had a CD. I've shot the CD. I care more about shooting the lava lamp than the bad guys. I don't know what the point of this is. This is not Lethal Enforcers, that's for sure. Are we protecting Aerosmith now? They're in the green room and we're shooting all the people who are trying to attend their concert? The soundtrack is pretty bad. Oh, I'm dead. You know what? I think that's for the best. This game, I don't think I can take much more of this. All right, let's try a title with the Super FX chip. So this is one of the first 3D games on a console. And probably was the best 3D game on a console when it came out. Amazing speeds of 15 frames per second. Okay, this is the best look I've ever seen StarFox. That should work. So, I was probably about 14 at the time that this game had 14 or 15 at the time that this game had a big contest. Like, they had this whole contest where you went into participating resellers.
Good luck.
And you played a tournament version of this game. and if you got over, I think, 70,000 points or something like that, you got a free T-shirt. And I actually managed to get 2 T-shirts, and the highest scoring person from each store received a StarFox jacket. And then there was some big grand prize that I wasn't anywhere close to getting. It was pretty cool. I just remember nagging to go to the mall over and over so I could try it. My mom basically let me go enough to get good enough to get the jacket, and that was the end of it. She didn't let me play much, or not the jacket, the shirts, and then didn't get to go back. Oh, jeez. Slippy. Trying to. If you were any good as a pilot, Slippy, this wouldn't be a problem. There we go. You get something for flying through the arches, but I don't remember what. Might have just been points. This was truly amazing back at the time. I mean, it wasn't Doom. Ow. I forget what the rings do. See, he's always the one in trouble. It's always Slippy. Heh. And I missed the power-up. Oh well. So you actually got points on the tournament one. I don't think there's any points in the regular game. Almost got him. Boom! Alright. Beat the first boss. Oh, there was a bit of a score.
Good luck.
Right, let's go destroy the rock crushers. Look at this first-person view. So high-tech, much wow. Gotta save the rabbit. Trying to. There we go. Yeah, he gets all upset if you take his, if you steal his kill. Ow. See? So next time, shoot it instead of talking. Oh, jeez. Oh. Nice. Finally got a power up. Shield's almost gone, but hey, I got twin blasters. Oh, yes. Got some shields back. Just in time, too. Why does space have so many just spinning girders all over the place? Ooh, I'm dead. Alright, you guys want more StarFox, or should I move on to some other games on the system? These spinning things are just maddening to avoid. Ah. All right. Well, I've got. So let's talk about some other features. So the BIOS I loaded is the jailbreak BIOS, and there's some pretty cool stuff with that. Since one of the things that it lets you do is back up your own games. And so you can actually plug in your cartridge and go to as soon as the screen comes up. Not sure why we're not getting a menu. Come on. But anyway, once I have the screen back up, since it's decided to not show me the screen right now, or show me the menu right now, once we have that, we can actually see. I'm trying to remember one of these. One of the games that I actually have here. I couldn't find a US version of the ROM. So, oddly enough, I'm not going to find that real quick, unfortunately. Oddly enough, I will actually be backing that up later for that reason, but now I'm just confused as to why I'm not seeing a menu. Oh, I know why. I had the auto fire turned on my controller. Okay, so built into the system we have those Turrican games, but let's see. I wonder if I can change this font, because this font is awful. Okay, that is substantially better. It's still not great, but it's substantially better. Okay. Oh, and I want to switch my... Since I reloaded the firmware, one downside, you lose all your settings when you when you update your firmware. So you can set a lot of settings like per game and things like that. You can set a lot of different screen settings. But yeah, you lose them if you update the firmware. So, but yeah, we can actually run games off the SD card, which is great because this way you're not, if your cartridges are old and dirty or just not, you just want to put them away or something, you can just copy them. You can copy your own games. You can then take that copy to your computer, apply an English translation patch if it's a Japanese game, and choose whatever you want to play from your SD card. So, and also I think we should be able to run some various ROM hacks, but yeah, I've got StarFox 2. I wanted to know what this was. This is like a ROM hack of Super Mario Kart. Oh, cannot open the file. No, no. Oh, I must not be in the right place for the core. No. I'm certainly doing something wrong here. Oh, here we go. Now we're loading. Battletoads Double Dragon. A Bobo. Oh, I played so much Double Dragon back in the day. I am getting beat up. I don't know what the controls are. Ow! Okay, I am not good at this game. Okay, there we go. No, no, let me move. I can't move. But once you're hitting them, they can't really move. But while they're hitting you, you can't really move. This is some weird scrolling. I'm wondering what... This is very... It's kind of bland. That's not what I would have expected. Battletoads used to be a great game back in the day. that works. Ow. Did they just hit their own guy? Nice! They hit each other. Oh, they killed me. Ow, ow. Okay. This is, I think we've only seen 2 types of enemies. They all kind of just like to hit me themselves. Okay, I'm done with this game. Okay, let's find something else. I just have to. I just have to see how bad this is. I'm guessing pretty bad, because the show honestly has not stood the test of time. Hey, Lenny, guess what? Beavis and Butthead aren't role models.
This is gonna be cool.
And the high-tech audio.
Whoa, man.
Guar? Wow.
What bear, dude?
I think I was in middle school when this show came out. I didn't get to watch it. And as an adult, I've tried watching it, and it was awful. It's like kids just skateboarding in the hall. Is this what high school was like? This is kind of what high school was like. Hinckley was terrible. I rode my bike through the hall of one of the high schools. That was kind of fun. Remember one of the high schools that I was at had these huge halls. There wasn't really anyone around, and so we rode my bike through the halls. Oh. I can't get on top of the locker. That's too bad. What is the point of this game? No, I don't think anyone really knew about the bike in the hall, except for those who were there. Like I said, it wasn't at our high school. Wait, if I push up, he just sticks his tongue out. Can I switch characters? Oh. Wow, this game is pretty terrible. Okay, so press select and you can be Beavis instead. I don't really know what to do with the bikers. I guess I can duck them. Or skateboarders, I mean. Ah! Okay, Beavis is about to be worm food.
Whoa.
Whoa, we didn't die. Yet. Yeah, I don't... He got killed by an apple core. Oh. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Dennis. But at the same time, there's more in common with my high school than I would like to be the case. My high school days, they were not great. For a moment, I thought that was Daria. Throwing hot dogs at us? The soundtrack is terrible on this game. I mean, this does look sort of like the lunchroom at my high school. At my first high school, anyway. What? The heck just happened? It just sent us back to the beginning of the level? Haha! that like teacher we passed by with the like kind of like a hippie is probably the one good character in the show. No. Yeah. Well, other than Daria was pretty cool. I actually rewatched all of Daria pretty recently. It's surprisingly timely. Uh-oh, one more hit, we're goners again. Oh, that's it. Alright, I think that's enough of this game, too. Let's find something else fun to play. Let's see if I can get that Super Mario Kart one to load now. It's so weird. It says it cannot open the DSP file. But Super Mario All-Stars is fine. Yeah, you should definitely rewatch it, but you gotta... Unfortunately, if you watch it on a streaming service or buy the DVD set or whatever, it's missing almost all of the original music. And that's really a shame. So, this is a pretty great game. Unlike the recent Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Nintendo actually redid all of the original games and levels from the 2D era on the, well, from the NES era on the Super Nintendo. So they look amazing and they play amazing. Right? So most of my playing of Super Mario Bros. 3 when it came out was at Fuddruckers because Fuddruckers had a Play Choice 10 machine. And it was cool that on the Play Choice 10 you just bought time, but it also meant that once you were actually good at the game, basically once you were actually good at the game, you no longer, your limit wasn't the lives, it was the fact that you still only got, you know, a few minutes of time, no matter how good you were. Whereas, most of my Super Mario Bros. 1 was like Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz playing on the Verse Super Mario Bros. Arcade machine. And that was hard. We never beat that, and I actually bought Verse Super Mario Bros. On the Switch just because, first off, it's the first time I've ever seen legal way of buying it for sale. And second off, it has save states. So I'm about halfway through, and I just kind of got distracted. But yeah, it's much nicer to have save states for that game. Because yeah, Linny and I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers. And this is really a really great recreation of Super Mario Brothers 3 with just way better graphics. I screwed up. Crud. I was trying to do the one-up trick and I already messed up. This is a pretty great way to play this game. Especially since this one saves. Alright, let's see if let's try this again. Alright, we're getting there. Just a little bit further. Yeah, the backgrounds look great. And the multi-layer scrolling. Ah, crud. I can't quite do infinite there because the Goombas don't seem to come out quite fast enough for me, but it's kind of a nice trick. Get some extra lives early in the game. I always like the slide that they added. I think there's a star here. And Super Mario Bros. 3, I think, is the only one where which side you hit the box on matters. Because if you hit the box with the star or the mushroom on the right-hand side, it will actually go to the left. I don't know if anyone remembers the movie The Wizard with Fred Savage. Oh, he jumped it. No fair. This game is a lot of fun. But back in the NES days with it, I remember basically when I finally did get an NES, I remember having to like leave the NES on as long as I could trying to beat the game because it was really hard to beat the whole game in one sitting. Now, these warp whistles help. But you also have to know how to use the warp whistles. I don't know if there's a leaf in here. I forget. When I say you have to know how to use the warp whistles, so I don't think there's a leaf in here. And that's a problem, because I think you have to actually enter this level with the leaf to get the warp whistle. Oh, is there a leaf here? Oh, there is a leaf here. Oh, crap! Ah! Okay, I'm... Goodbye, cruel world. Let's do that again. I accidentally hit up on that door. So I think it was Wolfden made his perfect Nintendo Switch controller where he got a what was it? He got that new 8-bit DOE arcade stick that's like Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz and works on Switch and PC and stuff. And you can mod that controller. He modded it by making it by giving it a 4-key arrow key keypad for the instead of a joystick, it has a keypad. Yeah, let's try this again. Alright, here we go. We're getting that warp whistle. Yeah, I used to have the strategy guide for this, and I know I got rid of it at some point. I think I probably donated it to the thrift store. It's too bad. I was like, where's the warp whistle? But I did get it. Okay. Wasn't paying good attention. So now, I don't know if everyone knows this trick or not, but so at this point we've gone through just 4 levels. We've gotten 2 warp whistles. So the first warp whistle takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go to 4 and we blow the warp whistle, we'll get 5, 6, 7. But if we just use it right here, it takes us to 8. So we don't have to go. We don't have to beat World 1 and go find the warp whistle in World 2. We can just use the 2 warp whistles and go right to World 8. So cute with his little ears. And when you touch this, you go right into it. This isn't like the other levels where you can sit there and select when you go in. Oh. I was expecting a cannonball out of that one, not a bomb. Now I'm little. I definitely should have gone to that Toad house. Got a mushroom. Yay. Whoa. Forgot what these guys are called. They're pretty easy to kill, though. Oh, jeez. Get out of there. Get away from me, ba-bomb. Jeez, did not expect that. I was waiting for that guy to pop out. Oh, is there no power-up? I thought there was a power-up here somewhere. Almost as much as Paper Mario. Oh, I almost got killed after killing him. Oh, nice. I don't know what this does. I don't think this actually does. I don't think this actually takes me anywhere. I think it's locked. Yep, it's locked. I don't know why. I don't remember if you can get keys somewhere. Goodbye. The boats are kind of hard because of because the moving up and down means you have to really pay attention to where you're standing. I also really need to not do that. It's good to know. I think the map screen's great, but it was kind of disappointing in Super Mario 3 just because you couldn't redo levels. Jeez. No! Well, maybe well, yeah, I definitely need that mushroom. I am so screwed. It's a good thing I got some extra 1-ups at the beginning. I can do it this time without getting... Oh, okay. No, I can't do it. I can do this. I've done this before. I have beat this game a couple times, 2-3 times. Jeez, that was close. Oh, that was cool. Whoa. This is a pretty serious level here. He's back immediately? Wow. There is no rest for the wicked here. Ow! Jeez. It's so wrong. We're gonna go the distance. I feel like Mario jumps really far in this game. Yes! Haha! Take that. Yeah, I don't have this on 3DS. I do have this on NES. Oh yeah, Flying Boom Boom? That's just no good. So, I don't know if anyone remembers this. So, there's 3 levels in those flame areas there. There's 5 stops, so there's 3 levels, and it's kind of random if a hand just comes up and grabs you and pulls you into these. Say like this, boom. You can't just... You can sometimes get away without having to do these. And they're short. Come on, come on. Boom. Yes! Just what the Mario ordered. I don't think there's anything else, but we're gonna find out, because I could really go for any other power-up right now. Oh, nice. Yeah, that guy, if he stomps, and you're on the ground when he does it, you can't move for a moment. It really stinks. Okay, so he might have gotten away from one of them. Oh, cheap cheeps. You kidding me? Ow. Just wanted a mushroom. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I got some leaves. I did not play enough Mario 35 before it went away. Yeah, I don't know if I can beat this level without starting with a feather, or a leaf, I mean. But I'm gonna try. I don't really feel like the leaf is going to help me a whole lot on this. It would help, maybe. Mostly because I could get hit more. Whoa! Whoa! Darn it. Can do this. I'm running out of lives, though. Oh, come on. Right, a P-Wing makes this level way too easy. I don't know what it's going to happen when I run out of lives, though, if I'm going to have to redo the world. Oh, I timed that poorly. Alright, we're about to find out what happens when I run out of lives the rest of the way. That was close. I was so worried about the wrenches, I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, we've saved, continued. Oh, okay, I still got my stuff. Not making me redo those levels, so that's nice. Looks like it's gonna make me redo the hands. Okay. It is fun, but it'd be a lot more fun if I wasn't doing that. Wow, that's 2 in a row. That's pretty sad. Why do I'm just off on this guy. There we go. Goodbye. What I hate is when you're expecting them to drop down 1 level, and they drop down 2 right on your head. Oh, crud. Goodbye. Oh. Oh, I'm not even gonna make it to the mini airships at this rate. This one's not so bad. Oh, come on! Like, no, you do all the levels. And this is how Mario died. Okay, well, I did save. Might as well save again. Then I think I have to come back here. What do you mean it prevents saving. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how the saving stuff really works when I'm playing off of the off of it like this. I eventually plan to just get a ROM card anyway, so I have more features. Those are just kind of expensive. Actually, I didn't even need to come back out anyway, though. Because I was thinking, one thing I'm really curious about, I don't know if you guys remember in the original Super Mario Brothers, on both the Verse Super Mario Brothers and the NES version, when if you defeated Bowser in if you defeated Bowser in the first 7 worlds by using fireballs, he like turned into like a Goomba or something. And I'm wondering if it still if they made it do it in this version. And well, since we're here, man, this sounds so nice too. I think it's funny how they put the little Mario face behind him. Little victory V there. Let's get a fireball. There's our fireball. I found out that it really is possible to jump over the flag, but then you just end up in endless nothing, basically. The other thing I don't recall, because I never was able to do the minus world when we had this way back in the day, I don't know if you can do the minus world in this version. So, in the NES version, there's the minus world that you can access at the end of level of World 1-2. And then and then when they re-released the game on the Famicom Disk System in Japan, they actually made the minus world trick an official official thing instead of just a glitch that brings you to the minus world. Of course, what I really want to do right now is install that HDMI mod on the N64. But that is just going to have to wait till Wednesday. Okay, so the minus world glitch basically works like this. You hit that, you duck, and then you jump into the wall while ducking. I feel like I'm actually not jumping quite as high as on the NES, but I don't think this is working. Oops, now I've just messed it up. Oh well. The real goal right now is to see if Bowser turns into a Goomba if we shoot him with fireballs. So I will say the system feels every bit as great as the other analog systems, where everything looks great, everything plays exactly like you would expect, and it's basically a Super Nintendo with really great audio and video quality. And apparently if you buy the analog DAC and you have a CRT, you can actually use the Super Scope 6 still. I am not going to bother with that because that's just not worth it to me. It won't work on the CRT I have in my basement, and I'm not going to go... I already don't even want that one. I'm not going to go track down another CRT. I will probably eventually get a Sinden light gun to play light gun games on emulation with. And I will probably also get my PS1 digital setup working with the Sinden light gun. And that's a cool feature, is that there's actually ways of using the Sinden light gun on original hardware for the PlayStation 1 and 2. And there might eventually be for the Xbox, I think he said. Bowser looks so much more like the Bowser we come to expect. Oh, he did turn into a Goomba! So, there is actually a reason for that. The actual story is, it's not really Bowser. It really is just a Goomba masquerading as Bowser. And the different castles have different things, like they can be a blooper, they can be a Koopa, I think they can be a Cheep Cheep, all kinds of stuff like that. So, cool. We can save and quit. Awesome. You know, I'm thinking we should go and check out StarFox 2 and see if that loads. Expansion not supported. That's too bad. Yeah, so StarFox you can't play without a ROM cart or the original cartridge, but I have the original cartridge. Unfortunately, there is no original cartridge for StarFox 2. Oh, I wanted to play this before I quit for the night. If there's anything anyone wants to see, though, certainly put it up in the chat, and I will load it up and check it out if I have it. I haven't played Smash TV in so long, though. I think the Super Nintendo version was one of the better versions for the home. In the arcade, this had 2 joysticks, and there was a version of this released on different consoles, the NES being one of them. The NES was kind of cool because since it had, you know, the control pads with the controllers with the D-pad, you just held 2 controllers. You just held 2 controllers like that, and you could just, you know, it just rotated the controllers like 90 degrees, so that you could just use 1 controller in each hand. Which was way better than playing Robotron on the 7800, where there's like, what do you do with these joysticks that don't have any way to hold them down on a table? Because Robotron plays like Smash TV, where you use 2 joysticks. But I think that's so nice about the Super Nintendo for a game like this is it just uses these 4 buttons as the second control pad. And I'm surprised I haven't seen re-releases of this game. It's like sadistic game show right here. Oh man. Oh, I don't want to die yet. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, slicing and dicing. I don't have a clue where to go. We'll just go this way.
Good luck. You'll need it.
Yeah, no one gets out of here alive. I've heard the ending to this game is actually really bad. The game is fun, though. Oh, God. Oh, God. the humanity. Ooh, look at that. That looks cool. That was short-lived. Oh, come on. Not gonna last very long in this. This is not a game I'm ever gonna beat. That's interesting. I don't know what this power-up does. It's kind of funny how you get to start shooting them before they're allowed to move, it looks like. It's not very sporting. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Oh, I stepped on a... Was that an IED? It certainly hurt. It was definitely a landmine of some sort. I don't think it was improvised, though. Ow. I should probably really get rid of that guy up top there if I can. Oh, I want that. There we go. So much better. I don't know. Oh, I'm out of lives now. Okay, that was entertaining. Oops. Oh wait, Rocco's Modern Life. It's a nice nostalgia trip here too. We'll do an easy game. This will probably be where I end it for the night, is after playing a little bit of this. Don't forget, Wednesday is going to be the N64 HDMI mod. Now, I know that the mod for the PlayStation took a while and maybe wasn't the ending we were hoping for, but fortunately, the N64 is actually a much simpler mod than the PlayStation one. It has only one really hard solder thing, and it's a lot easier to get to where you solder it. This is a very strange... The controls are not good on this game. Oh jeez, what is up with that bird? I don't like the bird. Ah, I hit the bird! Ow. What do I do about this dog? I don't really know what to do here. I saw something... Oh, you can just scroll through the map? That's unusual. Okay, I can switch these things up in the corner. But they don't seem to do anything. Did we win? Bird's back. I wonder if there's something that we're, like, looking for in the level? I've not ever played this that I can recall. Oh, were we just looking for Spunky? What? I don't get it. It's fine. I don't need to get it. Maybe I just need to play SWAT Cats. Not sure this is actually any good. I don't think Gauntlet was on the Super Nintendo, was it? I definitely don't have it on the SD card. I have it on the NES, but not the Super NES. Man, there's a lot of stuff that's just not that good on here. Yeah, I know I don't have it. There's a bunch of Final Fights. Some of these games are definitely a lot better than others. The Lawnmower Man. There's a lot of fun stuff on here. Just not so much this game, perhaps. I don't know if this one will load. Yeah, that one won't. I'll have to dig out my cartridge of that one. That's one of the interesting things. Is that even though you can jailbreak this and play games off an SD card, jailbreaking it is not nearly as useful as the NT Mini or the Mega SG even, because while the NES used a lot of expansion chips, those expansion chips are a lot easier to run and a lot better understood probably, but a lot easier to run on the FPGA processor in addition to the system, whereas this is a bit tougher because these are things like the Super FX chip that take a lot more processing power to simulate. Oh yeah, I do have Tenchi Muyo the game on here, and this is an English hack. Let's load that up. So, Des, did you watch Tenchi Muyo back in the day, or even more recently? I think they put out a new one not that long ago. I think this is the Ryoki OAV based one. This is what this is the one Linnea introduced me to. I love Tenchi. It is such a great series. Tenchi, Bubblegum Crisis, Rambo 1/2. Okay, I guess I have to press a button. Yeah, you know though, Linnea, it's funny because like in high school, so South Park came out in '96, and well, nice. So I was watching it on like VHS tapes, before it was on Toonami. Um, but so what was funny is, so Linnea introduced me to anime back when I was in middle school, because yeah, she's a bad influence. I'm probably a worse influence these days. Anyway, the but what was funny is, so South Park came out in '96 when I was in high school, and I remember we watched South Park, like frequently watched it as a family. It was hilarious, but it was completely an inappropriate show. But my parents would let me watch South Park, but they didn't like yeah, well, it's not my fault that you don't like South Park. South Park is actually even better than it used to be. We need more episodes of it. But actually watching, I've been watching South Park lately. I think I'm on season 4 right now. Man, some of that stuff is so accurate for today. Anyway, you gotta love the Cabot. That thing is awesome. Yes, but that's the thing. Like, my parents didn't really want me watching even like Tenchi Muyo, the Tenchi Muyo Ryoki anime. Definitely not Bubblegum Crisis. Ranma 1/2 was out, but I think Bubblegum Crisis is probably the worst of what I watched. But I got to watch South Park, even though it was completely inappropriate for anyone. I don't get it. I think American TV just has a lot more gratuitous violence, and we accept that, whereas anime is less violent than American TV tends to be. Less bad language, less violence, but more sex, and I think that, that's just not the way we do things in America. Right. Exactly, Lydia. I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of sexual harassment in anime, especially older anime, but even more modern stuff, it's got more than, say, American TV is going to show, typically. Oh, I can choose who I want to be. Well, we gotta be Ryoko. Oh, I'm just selecting. I guess I get to just choose all of them, because I only have 4. I guess we get more characters as we go. Okay, come on, demon. Show us your power. What are we doing? Oh, this is like a tactics type game. If you're wondering, I'm just not quite sure what buttons I'm really supposed to be pressing here. It's not doing what I would have expected it to do. Oh, here we go. It's weird. Okay, so let's move. Let's attack. Oh, interesting. So she can do execution, but she's going to have to move in really close to do it. She waddles around. Oh, she's an easy target now. Yeah, let's attack that one. I would have thought with execution that it would have done enough damage to actually execute, but I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Okay, I'm gonna move Tenchi, hopefully here, and finish off with Ryoko. Did not. There we go. Something's dead now. We have killed a demon-y thing. Oh, so she gets a blaster, so let's finish off this one. Did she miss? That is very fitting for her character, but seriously? This is really slow. Oh, this sounds great. I really like the swords. Yeah, Mihoshi is very ditzy. She's not one of my favorite characters in the series, but she's not in the OAVs very much. I don't have a clue what he said. I don't seem to have a way to heal them. But given the fights in the series, this seems just really slowly paced. Another enemy appeared. We're not even going to bother moving you because you can't aim. You're just going to attack. Oh, she hit it this time. Yay. Why are they just appearing? That doesn't seem fair. I have no way to heal them. Wow. This is not cool. Surprise attack. This cannot go well. Given that these enemies have just appeared. Oh goody, she leveled up. Interesting. Spinning cut. Let's try that. Ooh, critical hit. Oh, nice. I killed both of them. I'm not sure what her range is. 3, I guess? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to move her somewhere. I don't really have a lot of good places to move her, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be able to attack. Oh no! Ryoko's dead! I finally got heal. Just in time for Ryoko to not get it. Oh, she did some good damage there. Man, this game is so slow, though. Good. Alright, we might have finished that. I know, it's like she's a demon and she went down the easiest. She's also the only one who went down in that battle. Somebody else is here. This feels very 90s anime. Uh-oh, is she kidnapping Sasami-chan? I like how she just got her next to her, but there's a rope around her, so she's not going anywhere. Her legs work, but she's not going anywhere. Okay, I think I am ready to call it a night, though, to be honest. This has been fun. If there's any games you guys would like to see me stream, certainly leave them in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I will catch everyone on Wednesday when we're doing the N64. Like I said, we're doing the N64 HDMI mod. I've got the Ultra HDMI kit, so that will be That'll be interesting. So I'll talk a lot more about the Ultra HDMI kit when I'm doing the mod. It should be a lot faster and quite a bit easier overall than the PS1 digital was, since we don't have to desolder stuff. Um, we don't have to worry about an optical drive. So anyway, everyone, thank you for watching and have a great night.